I just came from this retreat, man. Just got off the road. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, everyone, to our Akron Citizens Police Oversight Board for April the 3rd, 2024. We'll begin with our roll call. Aniskevich?
Here.
Gippin?
Here.
Hawkins? Castle?
Here.
Costa?
Present.
Boyd is here. And can I get a motion to accept last meeting's minutes?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Ms. Aniskevich, I'll turn over to you. You have a couple of people to introduce. You got somebody to your left and to your right.
Yes, so to my left is our brand-new auditor, Mr. Anthony Fennell. We want to welcome him to not just the city of Akron, but to our Citizens Police Oversight Board. This was a very, very long process, and an arduous process at that. But he's here now, and he is seated, and we are so very, very happy to have him. Mr. Fennell, would you like to say anything?
First, I want to thank everybody. I'm happy to be here, and as Ms. Donzella has said, it has been a long process, but it's one that was worth going through, and I look forward to meeting a lot of the people, a lot of the people that are here, and a lot of the people in the community. I'm just ready to get the work done. It's a lot of work to be done, and I'm ready to dive right in. So thank you.
And we also have our new board member, Ms. Erica Bernie Hawkins. This is her first meeting. As you all well know, that we did, one of our members, Ms. Lewis, left the board about a month or so ago. So I'm happy that it didn't take 6 or 8 months to fill her seat. So we're happy to have her, and we'd like to welcome her to our Citizens Police Oversight Board. And Ms. Bernie Hawkins, would you like to say anything?
Yes, I'm just grateful to be here and excited about working together to help with our community and work together with the police department. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you both, and welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Gippin.
Got another member.
Good evening, Ms. Reed. No words, no words.
It's okay, you only missed the introductions of our two newbies. Good to see you.
Our purpose, the overarching mission of the Akron Citizens Police Oversight Board, is to foster conditions and police practices that ensure the safety of all residents of the city of Akron. The CPOB is empowered by a new city charter provision to independently direct the police auditor, whose office reviews investigations into complaints and misconduct involving officers. The board and auditor also review every standard investigation, whether by the Akron Police Department or outside agencies, into the use of deadly force by an officer. The CPOB has the authority to appoint and provide oversight of the Office of Independent Police Auditor and terminate personnel within OIPA. Approve external and independent oversight and review of policing practices within the city of Akron. Subject to approval of council, the CPOB may adopt rules providing for the procedures and operations of the board and the OIPA, including the scheduling of regular board meetings and for the election of a board chair and vice chair. Propose with OIPA an annual operating budget, issue an annual report to the community of CPOB activities and recommendations made to the mayor and council. Vision. The CPOB envisions each of its members to be change makers, bridge builders, diplomats, and servant leaders who, together with the police, city of Akron, and community at large, will foster a systemic culture that enables action on policing and community safety issues based on trusting relationships, responsiveness, and accountability to the people of Akron. Serve as a gateway to knowledge and understanding for members of the community regarding policing practices and civilian oversight of law enforcement. Advance police training and practices based on educational and information resources, and demonstrated effective practices in policing and civilian oversight of law enforcement. reinforce the image of police as partners with Akron residents who strive to ensure safe neighborhoods and a safe community for all. Values. Our decisions and actions are motivated by our love for Akron and our desire for all to feel safe in the community. We value unity in voice and action. We respect each other and those we serve. We seek to build relationships of trust, and we seek to always conduct ourselves with integrity. We listen to understand, learn, and lead. We strive to be inclusive of all stakeholders' voices. We value change at a system level. We hold ourselves accountable for our actions and deeds, and we hold our partners and those we serve to be accountable for their actions and deeds.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gippen. We're now on to agenda item number 4, which is our public comment. Ms. Anaskevich.
Yes, for the people who just came in, if you wish to make a public comment, there are forms on the podium there underneath. If you want to fill one out, we can get you in public comment. If not, we'll go ahead and start. Okay. Apostolette.
Good evening, everyone,
Good evening.
and happy Easter for those who know what really took place on Easter. Peter was released from prison at Easter. I know they were having a celebration and holidays and doing all the pagan stuff, but Peter was released from prison at Easter time. I'm here this evening because I need you all to do an investigation for me, please. I got hired at Oriana House. And I'm concerned about this racism, this discrimination against we who are Black, brown, Native American, multiracial American, we who are Christians, and we who are heterosexuals. The second day of training, after the inclusion piece ended, the director someone had me call her to tell me that they didn't think I would fit in, some of the employees. So I told her how I felt about what she was doing. And then they called me a couple days later and asked me where could they mail my money to for the 2 days I had been there. I said, why are you going to mail me anything? You're not going to treat me like a criminal. I haven't broken any rules or any laws, so why do I need to, you need to mail something to me. So I called 911 for a police car to escort me in the building so I didn't have an altercation with anybody in the building about getting my money for the 2 days. They sent a mental health unit after me. And they kept asking me mental health questions. And then a white woman came out and said, so what's going on here? And they mentioned my name. She said, oh, we know all about her. And was very nasty, very shrewd. And I would like to know what's being said about me in Akron Police Department. I would like to know why when I call for a police car to deal with misconduct of a rich white director of Oriana House, why the police mental health unit is called, with 2 white officers, 2 male and 1 female officer, and what took place. I would like to know what the conversation is. And I've been talking about some things for a minute now here in Akron about discriminatory practices against me. Some of this stems from the mere fact that my reporting abuse, instead of it being investigated, Mr. President, Director, they put a mental health label on me so no investigations take place. But to try to label me as a criminal after you've already discriminated against me for employment because I call you out on it, I would like to know how many other people are being treated like that here in Akron, and I want to know exactly what's being said about me. I don't own a gun, not interested in a gun to change my life. I don't have a criminal history. I don't have a mental health history except for what people want to say about me because they don't understand me. I don't have a substance abuse history. None of that. And I would like for you all to do a formal investigation for me on Akron PD to see what's being said about me and make them stop bothering me. And when I call 911, I should have a police car, not a mental health unit coming for me. Thank you. And my running for president of the United States of America, that's not mental illness. If it were, then Joe Biden and Donald Trump and Kamala Harris need to sit down then too. Maybe they need to get a mental health evaluation. This is real. And I'm tired of this racism in this country, and I'm really tired of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Apostolate. Reverend Joyce Penfield, please.
Good evening, everyone. You're timing me. Thank you. I wanted to first, I'm here with my Mom's Demand Action hat, which is the hat that tries to find ways to prevent and reduce loss of life and loss of and trauma through gun violence. And I want to first say thank you to each of you on the board. Many of us have come to meetings on and seen the work that you're doing, and it's not always thankful work, so I just want to thank you for that and welcome our new members and Mr. Fennell. It's really great to start to get things lined up. In working with Moms Demand Action, we are working with survivors. That's often mothers who've lost often sons who've been murdered to gun violence, and females also, daughters. And we find that they can't heal until their case is dealt with. And I just wanted to bring this to you today, although I know the focus is here on abuse and use of force, but also Charter was created to improve police-community relations, and part of the initiative, as I just read it again, is to improve policing. It falls into your bailiwick also. And I wanted to alert you that the survivors have been very concerned that their cases aren't being attended to, or how they've been treated when they approached the cases. And so we've created a forum which will be held on responding to their interests and their needs with them on next Thursday, on April 11th, from 6 to 7:30. We'll have a forum on strategies used to solving shootings. That's not always death. And speakers, or the dialogue, will be with Captain David Laughlin. He's been here several times. I need to support survivors before. And Lieutenant Matt Whitmer. And it will be at the North Hill Branch Library at 183 East Cuyahoga Falls Avenue. It's open to the public. And if you come at 5:30 until it's gone, fried chicken and chips and soda. So we are trying to do our part in the community, but we're also urging the board to also not lose this in the agenda, because there's awareness and statistics nationally, and Akron seems to break this, I'm told, but nationally that depending on who is shot or killed by race, it gets less attended to, and sort of a category of attention. And we don't want that to happen here. We understand Akron has a better rate than normal, but I've also had stories and complaints from some of the survivors about how they were treated when they tried to attend to their cases. So I urge you to come and join us and let other people know. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Penfield. That's it with the public comments.
Thanks so much for all the public comments. We really do appreciate it. Now we're going to move into item number 5, which is our committee report outs. And our first is item A with governance. Mr. Gippen.
Mr. Chairman, governance was scheduled to meet yesterday evening. I canceled the meeting because of the severe weather forecast, and you can all thank me for the weather not having come as a result. So did our part. Anyway, there was no meeting. Okay. Just so everybody knows, we're gonna switch to the off Tuesday. So the next meeting is going to be next Tuesday evening, 5 o'clock at some or other library branch. And we were going to get further into the procedures the list that we created 2 weeks ago. So a week from yesterday.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gippen. Appreciate it. Ms. Richards is not here, but I didn't know if Ms. Anaskevich or Ms. Reed, did you have anything HR-wise? If not, we can keep on going.
The only thing is, and I think everyone did get a copy of the email, is we are beginning the process now with Mr. Fennell's help in looking for the deputy auditor. He's gone through the application requirements, And I don't know, I guess you can probably talk about it better than I can on some of the changes that you're looking to make in those requirements.
Yes, I didn't bring those with me, but I did go through the draft that I was presented on the job description and job requirements, and I made some recommendations for some changes that are more centered around an investigative and auditor experience specific to the federal government standards for auditors. And again, I apologize because I wasn't prepared to speak directly to it, and I would have had a copy here. But I've presented that to Ms. Richards and to the board so that you guys have time to look at it, and then we'll have a further conversation to hopefully finalize this and get the job posted right away.
Okay, thank you. Didn't mean to put you on the spot, but yeah. Yeah, but we had always said that our auditor would have, total hands-on approach to how we elect and select our deputy auditor, and he or she would have direct input on what they need as a deputy auditor. So Mr. Fennell is going to be very hands-on with the hiring process of that, and as far as the experience that's needed. So that's the only thing that we have from HR, is that we have started the ball rolling for our deputy auditor, the hiring of a deputy auditor.
Thank you so much for that. Now we're going to skip down to community engagement. Mr. Casa, you have any updates for us?
Yeah, so myself and Chairman Boyd met last Friday to talk about an initial meeting for our community engagement subcommittee. What we're looking to do with our initial meeting, and we have slated the date we're holding, I believe, April 24th from 5:30 to 6:30. The location is TBD. I'm waiting on one of our community partners to confirm that we can use the space. But looking to do a re-engagement meeting, which obviously is open to the public, but in essence, focusing a discussion around the notion of creating a shared vision of community and policing relations, and really getting feedback as to what that looks like. I had a really great conversation with Auditor Fennell. I believe it may have been about a week and a half ago. Actually, it was on your first day, last Monday. To Auditor Fennell's credit, I think he brought a really great point to my attention, which is, at the end of the day, the community is at where the community is. And so as a board, we need to be making efforts to really be in the community, but not just holding ourselves out there, but going and meeting the community where they're at. And so what exactly that looks like, I think we need to take an opportunity to first have a discussion with the community, with the various community individuals, and really start to have a dialogue around what the strategies and tactics look like around building and strengthening police and community relations. So that is a bit of an update. I will notice the meeting appropriately once we've solidified the space, and we'll look forward to meeting there on the 24th.
Thank you, Mr. Costa. Really appreciate your efforts in that, and also Mr. Fennell. I also want to remind everybody, now that Mr. Fennell is here and we have an independent auditor, we are going to get back to having our complaint review committees. Mr. Fennell will be leading that for us. So our next one will be April the 17th at 1:30. We'll make sure we notice that. I know that'll probably come out probably from Shannon. We'll get that noticed. And so we'll re-engage that again now that we have an auditor in place, okay? Were there any questions or comments for any one of our committee chairs? We move forward? Okay. Any further discussion, anything else for the good of the order?
I didn't know if Mr. Fennell wanted to sort of, or not, but didn't know.
Mr. Fennell, I was going to say as well, first of all, I am so happy to have you here and welcome. Excuse my voice is horrible today. But if you could just recap how your first week has been. We'd just like to hear. I haven't been able to make it to see you and introduce myself to you personally, but I would just like to hear how your first week in the role has went.
Well, yes, I will say that as first weeks go, it's been pretty busy, but really, I was pleasantly surprised on one hand when I walked into the office to see how Ms. Shannon here has been holding things down. She's done an amazing job, and I've told her personally, and I will want to share that publicly, that she's done an amazing job in getting the office ready to receive staff so that we can do the work. So thank you. And she's been an awesome resource during the first week as I'm doing different things and then realize, oh, I need this or I need that. I actually told her, I believe on yesterday, that instead of coming to her in that instant, I'll just make a note so that she can, at the end of the week, she can have one order as opposed to multiple orders, because throughout the day I'm finding, oh, I need this, and I'm shooting an email or yelling out the door, hey, I need this. So that has been very pleasant. We've got over 170 uses of force that we need to look at, and I've begun that process, but of looking at them, but then there's a process that needs to be developed of getting the information from the police department to us, and then being able to share that with you guys. So had several meetings with different people from the police department. We'll have more meetings to work out a process that works for both of us, because there's information that I need that hopefully we can come to an agreement on me being able to get that in a timely fashion. Quite frankly, the process that I'm doing now is send an email to a couple of folks and they send it off to someone else, so it's not very efficient. So we're gonna work on that. But equipment-wise and otherwise, the week has been fine. It's just getting the tools that I need in place. And I will say that regarding the officer-involved shooting earlier this week, there was a mix-up, and I've spoken with Chairman Kemp about it and spoken with the mayor, where I wasn't notified right away. Not a problem. The number that the police department had is my cell number. The problem was I didn't have the cell phone. So if I don't have the phone and it's not turned on, I can't receive the message. And certain people on the department had my personal phone, but not everyone had it. So it's just a mix-up. We've worked through that. So any critical incidents, any situations where I need to be notified right away, I'm in the queue like everyone else within the department, and we took care of that on short order. But looking forward again to not only doing this work, but getting out into the community. First few weeks, I've spent a lot of time sitting in the office. When the weather's nice, I'm not gonna be sitting in the office like that. I gotta be out in the streets. The city computer works anywhere, there's Wi-Fi, so I can be mobile, but I need to be in the community, need to hear from folks, and need to be on location when things happen, just to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and our checks and balances. So, you know, every day is a long day, but it's good, and I knew what I was getting into when I signed up, and I'm just happy to be here. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And in that vein also, we do have a new board member. We had a couple people came in late, and we do have 2 board members missing tonight, Mr. Peoples and Ms. Richards. But if we could just go around and introduce ourselves to our new board member, I think that would be appropriate if we can do that. So I am Donzella Anaskevich. I'm the vice chair of the board, and I'd like to say welcome to you, and we're glad to have you here.
I'm Bob Gippin, as you know, and I really enjoyed just even our few minutes talking before. You're a perfect fit as far as I'm concerned, so welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Katie Castle. It's nice to meet you this evening.
Yes, thank you.
Kemp Boyd, welcome.
Brandon Costa, welcome. I chair our community engagement subcommittee, and I think budget and finance for now still, but if you're interested, please do let us know. Likewise, Tristan too, budget and finance.
I'm Tristan Reed. It's an honor to meet you today.
Yes, thank you.
I'm done.
All right. Is there anything else for the good of the order? If not, can I get a motion to adjourn? Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good evening, everyone.